Suikoden 2 is by far my personal greatest RPG game of all time. Heck, I'd even say it's probably my greatest game of all time. And I remember playing this game for the first time back in 99, and at that time I had very little experience with RPGs in general. I've played a bit of Final Fantasy VII and eventually 8, a little bit of Shining Force, but this was the very first RPG game that I would really invest myself in. So fast forward to 2024, we have the new Suikoden 1 and 2 HD remaster, and I'm pretty much looking forward to playing this game, which is coming out March next year, unless it gets delayed again. Now before anything else, I would just like to say that Konami did a massive mistake by abandoning this franchise. Sure, we got the Eiyuden Chronicles from the original creator of the Suikoden games, but it's still not the same, so yeah, screw Konami. But anyway, there's so much in this game that I really had great memories of, and this isn't a knock on the other Suikoden entries, but more of just how Suikoden 2 in particular influenced me as a gamer growing up. I've played the other Suikoden games, but Suikoden 2 still has that magic that the other ones couldn't match. At least for me personally. Maybe 1, 3, and 5 has some of it, but not in the same level as 2 did. From the story, the amazing soundtrack, the memorable cast, the base building, and just the world itself. It's so fleshed out that not a lot of games at the time, except for a few ones, had this kind of depth and complexity. And speaking of story, Suikoden 2 has a deep lore and personal intrigue. And unlike other typical RPG games, it doesn't involve around saving the world. Instead, it dives deeply into personal relationships and the political drama between kings and leaders, which gives it a subtle Shakespearean quality. On the other hand, it still tackles the enigma surrounding the true runes that have intrigued me for years. The mature and heavy themes without being overly dark is a perfect balance between the game's dark moments and light-hearted stories. And then we have the villains, particularly one Luca Blight, who by the way, spoiler alert, is not even the final boss in this game. And yet for some people, he is considered to be one of the best RPG villains up there with Kefka. In the crowded landscape of the late 90s RPGs, Suikoden 2 is more than just a game. It's a testament to the power of storytelling and human connection. While many titles focused on the grandiose plots and larger-than-life heroes, Suikoden 2 dared to explore the complexities of relationships, loyalty, and the painful reality of betrayal. It showed us that sometimes the greatest battles aren't fought on the battlefield but within ourselves. This game didn't just craft the world, it gave us a home, a place where every character, no matter how small, mattered. It's a reminder that even in the midst of war, it's the bonds we forge and the choices we make that define us. The layers of political intrigue, the personal stakes, and the emotional weight of each decision all contribute to a narrative that remains timeless. Suikoden 2 isn't just one of the best RPG games because of its mechanics, or the music, or its lore. It's because it resonates on a level that many games strive for, but rarely achieve. It makes us reflect on our own lives, on the friendships we've cherished, the loyalties we've questioned, and the sacrifices we've made. And in a way, it's a reflection of life itself, beautifully complex, sometimes tragic, but always meaningful. In the years since its release, many RPG games have come and gone, but few have left a mark in me as Suikoden 2 has. It's a game that doesn't just age well, it grew with me, and every time I return to it, I find something new to learn, something that still steers our hearts. That's why decades later, Suikoden 2 remains a masterpiece. A reminder that sometimes the smallest stories are the ones that stay with us the longest.